Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope you're having a lovely day. Today we're going to be going over why it is paying for certain services in advance in 2026 is a very bad idea. If you're paying for something where you're paying ahead of time by, let's say, 18 months or 2 years or anything like that, you may want to think twice before doing that. We've talked many times about things like Amazon Prime, where it was advertised that you would have an ad-free viewing experience, and then they changed it so you'd have to pay an additional $2 or $3 a month to have an ad-free viewing or listening experience. And when this went to court, the judge said that they didn't raise the price, they just changed your features, which is insane. In Australia, their system actually said, no, Amazon fucked you over. In the United States, they said, it's not a price increase. You just have to pay extra to get access to the exact same thing that was originally advertised to you. But that's your choice to pay extra. It's ridiculous logic. And you may have heard about this with Panera Bread, where, again, you were sold a year's access to being able to get a certain amount of beverages, and then they changed the terms of the sale mid-sale because they can do that. And here we're going to be going over what happened with Six Flags. Six Flags allows you to buy season passes. Sometimes these passes can extend anywhere up to about a year and a half. However, they sold one of their parks recently, and you can probably see where this is going. It wasn't one park, it was actually a number of different parks. It looks like they sold the parks for about $318,885,000 in cash, and that these parks generated about $260 million in revenue. But apparently that was not enough to actually cover the people that had purchased these passes. You see, since these parks are now owned by somebody else, they're not honoring those passes the way they did before, and they're going to expire at a certain point. So if you purchase a pass before the cutoff date, it is going to work only for a certain period of time. Again, not the full amount of time that you actually paid for. And if you bought it after that point, even though this park says Six Flags on it, they have retained the rights to use the branding to the end of 2026, it won't actually work. The customer says, we purchased our tickets in 2019 and have been season pass holders since. We paid through the pandemic, even though the parks were closed. We are owed 2 years worth of season passes that we already paid for. Now that the benefits are substantially changed, we'd like a refund for the services we will no longer receive. This is more than $1,200 we have paid in advance. Six Flags, in response, thank you for providing us additional information. Please note that in accordance with Six Flags' terms and conditions, all tickets and season pass sales are non-refundable. And they're pretending here that what the person is saying is they changed their mind. They no longer want to go on these rides. Not that you changed the terms of the fucking sale and took things away from people and are no longer providing the services that you took the money for. Enchanted Parts will not issue refunds for any Six Flags tickets or its season passes purchased. Additionally, we do not have access to any previously purchased Six Flag passes. How fucking convenient. For any membership purchases, refund requests, and season pass issues, please contact Six Flags directly at 817-607-6121. Hopefully people do. We appreciate your understanding. And please let us know if there's anything else you can help with. Customer, we'll see you in court. This is how you treat customers that supported you when the parks weren't even open for 2 years? That's a scam and shameful. And I hope they do. A lot of people may not have the time to do this, and I understand and respect if you don't have the time to do that. If you're making minimum wage and you work 12 or 15 hours a day and you barely have time to stay above water, that's one thing. If you bought these season passes and you're making $300,000 or $400,000 a year and you're close to retirement and you got some time on your hands, in my opinion, it is your responsibility as somebody who actually has the ability to stand up for yourself to go to small claims court or commercial claims court and do everything you can to get your money back. When you go to small claims court, you don't have to have a lawyer. And a lot of the times, the amount of money that the opposition is going to spend, simply having somebody show up is actually more than what they would pay to refund you. And once they refund you once, a precedent gets created that can be used for everybody. I can't do this for you. I almost wish that I had season passes to Six Flags at this point, because if I did, I would do this for you, but I can't. So if you're out there and you're watching this video and you have the ability to take them to small claims court, you have the excess time available to you, please do. It really does matter, and it does make a difference. Imagine if Rossman Repair Group sold gift certificates. I don't do that, but imagine if I sold the gift certificate. Now imagine that gift certificate said valid at Rossman Repair Group location, and there was another Rossman Repair Group because I sold one of my stores to some other company, but I allowed them to use the exact same logo, the exact same branding, exact same YouTube videos. I sold the right to use all of my likeness. And you walked over to that location, you gave them the Rossman Repair Group gift card, which had the logo and the name that matches the fucking company, and they said, I'm sorry, we're not going to accept this. We're not Rossman Repair. This is clown world. And one of the things that I really want to get across here is that we are speedrunning our way into a low trust society as a result of this. I think it's great that people are willing to pay for services 1 to 2 years up front to get a discount. I think it's great that people want to feel like they are supporting a company that they like and that they are. I don't think that that's a bad thing innately. Again, when I was a kid, I still remember the idea of buying things online was considered insane. The idea that you would put your real name and your real address into a computer in the mid-90s, that was thought of as a way to get yourself killed. The idea that you were going to put your credit card information into the computer and your bank account would have any money in it afterwards, there were a lot of normal people that were in their 40s and the 90s that thought that that was insane. You shouldn't do that. And if you do that, you're a fucking idiot. And then by 2004, when Facebook and MySpace and everything else rolled around and became popular, people started using their real names on the internet. And now people buy things on eBay for thousands of dollars. They give money away to somebody they've never met. They don't know. They have no idea where that place is even located. It may not even be a company name. It could just be a random person who's totally anonymous. And they trust that after giving $5,000 away to somebody that they don't know the name of, that they are actually going to get the product. That is a good thing. Living in a high-trust society is beneficial to all of us, and it is beneficial to me as a business owner. I want to live in a high-trust society because I am a business. I have customers that trust me with recovering their data. They trust that after they pay, I'm actually going to give them the data. They trust that I'm actually going to return their device and not hold it hostage if the quote that we give them is too much money. They trust mailing the device to us instead of showing up to a physical storefront location, which allows me to get business from all around the country. I benefit as a business owner and as a private citizen from living in a world where people can actually trust businesses. But what you notice time and time again, when businesses do this type of thing, when they sell a park for $300 million fucking dollars, but they can't refund people a few $100s for services that they are no longer rendering after they've taken the money, that's going to result in a backlash. And you're going to see consumer spending go down as a result of it. You're going to see people not as excited to buy the latest device, not as excited to subscribe to things anymore. And then you're going to see 4 or 5 years from now, why are people spending so much less on the economy? Why? And you're going to see every single wrong answer given. You're going to see it be brought down to piracy. People just don't want to go outside anymore or anything else. When in the reality is going to be that people are sick and tired of being fucked over. You know, I was reading this article the other day, and it was talking about like petty theft being the way that people are protesting shit, where they go to the grocery store and they have 20 items, but they only ring themselves up for 18 or 19, and their thinking is just like, fuck the system. If everybody else is allowed to cheat, then why don't I? I'm not saying that that is a good thing. That is not a good thing. That's not a good way for society to go. There is a direct line to be drawn between companies that are worth billions of dollars getting away with doing shit like this every fucking day without a consequence, and your average person who sees that a pack of 4 bagels went from being like $2 or $3 to now being $7.80, doing that. Don't do this. You're not going to notice the short-term bump in your bank account as much as you'll notice the long-term degradation of society. Yeah, as a business owner, I'm a capitalist. I'm a greedy capitalist. I love making money. I see nothing wrong with it. Just do it ethically. Like, it's fine. I'm a bum. I barely graduated high school. I didn't go to college, and I have a lakefront view. You don't have to be. You don't have to squeeze every last fucking dollar out of everything. See you in the next video.